continuing on our adventures from last time, last session was primarily in the Library of Spheres, which is along the edge of the Rock of Brawl, where everybody got a little bit of time to research various things and various curiosities that they have encountered. I believe Button and Booker were primarily focused on trying to get a little bit more about Doom Space. Trixie just started reading one of the books that she bought, one of the little stories that she bought, and ended up going on a hunt that led her to reading about one of the Elder Evils. Liliana found a book to start kind of learning a little bit more about planting and gardening and plants that are useful and can have various properties that can be experimented with. McKen found a couple of books, but when the most that he found him reading was he was starting to learn the Knoll language. And you all kind of wrapped up your research, found the end of the books that you were reading, and the end of what you were going to easily be able to find within the Library of Spheres without doing deep dives that would take an unknown amount of time. And decided that you were kind of done for the day and we're going to head towards the Rock Rat, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yee.
Okay. So, you all leave the Library of Spheres and kind of start cutting your way through the center of both Middle City and Low City. Trying to get to the Rock Rat, as the Rock Rat is on the kind of opposite point of the asteroid. Situated very, very, very close to the docks. And it's as Booker would know, a very kind of low-cost, kind of cheap, kind of grimy tavern that caters towards the people that some of them were not invited to the Happy Beholder anymore. Others don't have the coin for it. Others just don't want to deal with the crowd. But as you all are heading through the Middle City, let me see here. I don't know where my cheat sheet for y'all's passives are. What is everybody's passive perception?
Passive. I think it is listed on the here. Yeah, it is. But Booker's is slightly wrong because he has observant.
I believe mine is like 14, 15.
Yeah, it should just be perception plus 10.
Mine is 19.
19.
Mine is 17.
17. Okay, let me see. Trixie and Liliana, roll me perception really fast.
Right there.
Roll 20 giving you issues.
A little bit.
A little bit of Monica.
A little bit of
There you go.
perception in my life.
Oh my god.
Or not.
And then you could also roll. Nope. So, as you all are walking through the middle city, I imagine Booker and thus Liliana are kind of towards the front of the group, as Booker is the one that knows where he's going in the moment. With the Spelljammer Academy trio trailing behind. And as you all are walking, kind of circumventing around the outside of the Great Market, trying not to get caught up in the crowds and the bustle of it, just trying to make your way through as fast as possible. Button and Booker, you both feel first before you see what feels like eyes watching you. And both kind of perk up just a little bit and start looking around just a little bit more, trying to figure out why you get this sensation of being watched. And Booker, you see a couple of kind of tall figures in what you assume to be armor. They move out of your view just fast enough that you're not 100% sure what their silhouette is, but they very clearly were watching you, and you can see them kind of duck down an alley and back out of sight. And Button, as you're kind of scanning around, you see another tall figure that seems to be kind of amongst the market, watching your group, and as your eyes turn their direction, they immediately move to try and move along with the crowd.
So I just saw the group of guys fade away. I did not see what Button saw.
And vice versa, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then Booker is going to, like, there's a very intense look of consternation on his face as he's like notices that, thinks he's being followed / watched, and tries to play it off so it's not very obvious that he has caught on. So he'll just like take his thumb, wipe his nose, kind of just look around a little bit, stick a hand in his pocket, and look nonchalant, but try to keep his eyes peeled and his head on a swivel, watching the alleyway and the side of the street where they were on.
I'm sorry, I gotta have Button start out with something stupid, man. You know what? No, I'm not sorry. Button sees this figure. The figure, like, what was watching them, and then as soon as Button turns to them, they just start moving with the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Button just turns back to the group, just like, do people usually watch groups? Is this normal behavior?
Well, there are some people that do people watching. It's a way to understand the crowd and all of that.
It is a big enough city.
Do they move as if they were not watching once you turn towards them?
I believe the term is stalking in that case, rather than watching.
Little suspicious.
Correction. Do people usually stalk groups in this city?
People stalk people everywhere. That's where their stalk is. They're not good people, assuredly.
You just have, like, Micken just kind of, like, is... All of a sudden, you start talking about stalking, and you see him just kind of tuck in a little bit closer. Yeah, people that are stalkers usually don't mean good to the people they're stalking.
I have bad news.
Are we
Oh,
being stalked?
That is a possibility.
Just play it cool. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't let them know we're onto them.
My head is on a swivel. I have that covered. How did you know I had that mechanic?
Booker just closes his eyes.
Hey, Booker, why don't you go towards that alleyway over there?
We're doing this the direct approach then? Then that's an open question.
I mean, if they're going to visit us, it is only polite though to say hello, no?
Anyone look at Trixie and look a button? Yes, no?
I mean, do we want to encounter them?
That's what I'm asking you.
I mean, if
Like
they're
I said,
stalking us, they're doing it for a reason.
We
I'd
could
like to know
try-
the reason.
We could also try and scatter, see who they follow.
No.
She just kind of shrugs. Just a suggestion. Could be
If we
after
end up-
someone in particular.
could be. Or the rest of you could hide and maybe they'll follow just one of us. Something like that. But fuck it. And Booker will reach into his pocket and pull out a coin and flip it. Just flips it, catches it, slaps it on the back of his hand, and just goes, "Alright." He puts the coin back in his pocket and starts walking towards the alleyway.
we can just like blinks at the back of the group. Oh no.
Pat McGinn. It is okay.
Don't worry about it. Do you really think someone could take all of us?
I'm less concerned about someone. I'm concerned about someone's.
How many people did you see?
I didn't see anybody. That's why I think we should just be going to the rock rat. He's following Booker.
As they're walking, Button will say, "Oh, I should inform you.
What's up?
Oh, wait, no. Never mind. I forgot. I had a brain fart. I had a thought. It was gone.
Bye-bye thought.
Bye-bye thought. You know what? Fuck it. I should inform you. You are a good friend.
Aw, Button, me too.
Pat, continue following Booker because I completely, like, Jesus Christ, that thought just got ripped away from me. I was about to say it.
So, because I'm lazy, I'm not going to build a specialty map. This is what we get. You guys are heading towards this alley up here.
I will say above table spell slots are running a little low.
I like the Z. I'm lazy. You're not getting a special map. Also, Z builds an entire web of half the fucking dungeon, the fucking monster manual in a different program.
That's different. It is much faster to just type shit when I am not, like, having to, like, think about shit at work. Much harder to do the graphics.
Are you the one that made the clan house on the Final Fantasy game from Holy Blood?
Yeah, when I was
Angela asked me-
unemployed.
Angela asked me for blueprints so that you can update it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I made the first one when I was unemployed, and now I feel responsible for updating the new one. So I'm going to shift people just a little bit.
He's awoken.
Good morning, Mr. Amy.
Joe. Other Joe's
What's up?
company.
What's so fucking good about it?
I'm here.
It's good.
There we go.
I'm gonna go check them
So,
out.
as you are heading towards the alley, Booker and Liliana are up first. Let us see. Da-da-da. Mhm. Three. Okay. Both of you make perception rolls as you are coming around the corner.
Psha. Wait. Psha. 18. Hey.
Hey,
A.
hey,
B.
see.
As you are coming around the corner and looking down this alley, you see that the alley kind of curves a little bit in between the kind of mismatched buildings that make up most of Brawl. And just around the corner, you see standing a little over 6 foot, a tall figure in armor with some sort of weirdly shaped helmet, a helmet that you haven't seen before, either of you. And they are very clearly carrying weapons, they have swords and bows and stuff, and they are not looking down the alley towards you. They're looking over their shoulder, back around the bend where you can't quite see.
Oh, well, it appears we have company in this alley.
How can I get a head count with that perception?
You see the one that I described. That's right at the
Just the
corner.
one.
They seem to be talking kind of in this direction, which is around a wall that you can't see.
Okay. Well, no time like the present.
Are
Booker,
these our enemies? I don't think so. Are they?
about to find out.
Fair
Booker's
enough.
gonna
They don't.
walk. Booker is he is trying to walk in a very like kind of intimidating way. The typical way he does this is like hands in pockets, kind of hunches his shoulders, and opens a little, like pulls his coat open a little bit so you can see the bandolier that has the knives on it now, and he is going to walk into the alleyway, like very bold-facedly, stare this dude in the eye, like very very clearly want to communicate to him like I fucking see you, but he will stop at the threshold.
And
Do you see anything, Booker?
Yes, he will talk. I just want to make sure that if something happened, does something happen as he's just like beelining it for this dude?
I am also trying to wait and see what Trixie and Button are doing, because should a fight break out, I need to know where people fucking are.
Mm-hmm.
You were following, right?
Yep. Well,
Huh.
it would let me. I'd prefer to have a button closer to the front.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll chill next to Micken.
Yeah, Vicken comes around the corner, sees kind of this person shadowed figure over the top of Booker's head, takes a half step back, so he's there, but he's also not there.
Liliana is also spreading vines from her back while we prepare to do this.
Oh man,
And
I wish I could ready in action to do the fucking Halo Spore shit.
How long does it last?
Hold on. It lasts for. What the fuck is it? 10 minutes.
You could just pop it now, right? Maybe?
Unless we take more than 10 minutes and whatever. You know what? Fuck it. Gamble. Mushroom mode activate.
as Booker comes to the threshold of the alley, and everybody else kind of is varyingly at Booker's back, this figure, you see their head turn and face you, and I will do this for a second. If my mouse will work. I think my battery might be dying. So that you can see the mask of the helmet. It turns,
Ooh.
and you see this is, again, not something that any of you recognize now that you're all starting to get a better look at this. This is completely unknown markings, completely unknown design to this armor. And the figure kind of looks in your direction and tilts his head. And he doesn't say anything. You can see a hand go to rest on his sword, though he does not pull it out at the moment. He's just watching you.
Oh, no, we are not here to fight you. Don't worry, do whatever you want, but just so you know, this alleyway is probably going to be a battleground in about 6 seconds, so we're gonna go beat some people up, and she motions her hands back to people behind her.
And as you kind of call out into this alley speaking to this figure, you see another figure in the same armor kind of step up and around the corner, looking over the shoulder of his friend. And you just hear another voice. It doesn't seem to be coming from either of these two, echoing down the alley. Beat some people up?
Not you guys, some stalkers. Again, don't know who you are. No quarrel.
Booker will tilt his head and be like, unless you know the people watching us. Really curious what you might have to say.
Okay,
You want to talk this out?
Until we figure out if they want to stay or not, no?
The two that you can see kind of look at each other, and all of you can hear this. There is a very kind of loud sound of metal on wood and stone, and you're pretty sure somebody is climbing further down the alley.
How far up can I, like, with my vines, I have a 15-foot a climbing range. Like, I have a 15 climbing speed. Could I get up to, like, one of these roofs?
You could probably get to the, like, this side of this one. You would have to move from there to get over the peak. The one beside you is, like, a 2.5-story building, so you wouldn't quite be able to reach that one.
Trixie, you have a fly speed, don't you?
Yep.
Do you want to be our eyes for a split second?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. She'll, Trixie... Would Trixie hear the movement as well?
Yes, all of you have a high enough perception, you'd be able to hear that movement.
Okay.
None of us are deaf.
Trixie will, use the telepathy, to relate to them. I got this one. And take off.
Are you just flying straight up? Where are you going? How are you doing it?
Straight up.
How fast is your fly speed, by the way?
I don't know. It's just walking speed?
So you fly up. You can see another one of these armored figures making it onto the roof of one of these smaller buildings down the alley, and kind of looking in y'all's direction, but then he spots you and kind of hunkers. And let me see here. Oh no. Okay. As all of you are looking down this alley, kind of locked on these figures, you don't hear until Micken lets out a little squeak. And y'all turn and see another figure. This one an elf with black eyes, wearing robes, who has kind of thrown an arm around Micken's shoulders. And Micken is immediately kind of turtle hunched down but is not moving.
Booker, like, hearing the yelp, will turn around real slowly and see that Micken is now, like, in... This is, like, friendly side hug, but secretly not friendly and more overtly threatening kind of side hug.
Mm-hmm.
Booker just, like, will turn and see that. And he is kind of... he is going to, like, split the difference and stand with his chest pointing in this direction, so he's able to turn his head and look this way down the alley and then this way back to Micken. But he looks at Micken and he sees that awkward situation and he's just like, Hey Micken, I'm guessing you don't know that guy hugging you.
So you just get this like little shake of the head, and the man whose arm is kind of thrown across Micken's shoulders smiles slowly and just tilts his head. And there is that, well, anybody that's looking in that direction can roll me an insight.
Try. 15?
Inside, you said?
Yes.
Oh, did it roll?
I do not see anybody's except Booker's.
Alright.
God damn,
Let me
Trixie.
Got a bird side.
fucking stop it. Yo. What the fuck is this sound?
What sound?
Oh, that's what happens. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I've just never used that before. Apparently there's a sound on D&D Beyond when you crit.
Screenshot it so that I can see.
I did.
Ha, there it is. Okay. Duh.
Fuck
So-
do I use it?
Trixie and Button, you both, as you are seeing this man kind of tilt his head and smile, there is that instant feeling of, this is a man that knows how to put on a mask. And there is that kind of almost sickening, sweet, charming mask that he's putting on in the moment. Booker, you are not as certain as the two of them are. But there's just almost like, for lack of a better description, like if somebody smiles with just a little too much teeth. And it's coming off just a little meaner than it should. That's what you're feeling as he kind of smiles and tilts his head. I'm Captain Asmadian.
Asmadian. Booker does the slight head nod, like in recognition. And then he'll just kind of nod, like give him respect, and be like, Booker, and the one you're squeezing there is Micken.
You just get this like little hi.
Does the guy seem to be like the color scheme the same as the guys in the armor?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that pulled the trigger, not me. I want to make that very, very clear. I feel like I have a valid reason to use this, and nobody can probably bitch at me for this. Spike growth.
Oh my god.
Spike growth on where?
Please, please.
Centered on these two yahoos.
Down the
Centered
alley.
on them?
Yeah.
Over here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Not on
Okay.
us.
Thank you.
Not on us.
I'm sorry, with your track record, I thought you were gonna fucking spike growth Micken. I was like, that's not gonna help.
Don't make it harder for the boy to run. For
Spike growth on those, and then as a bonus action, I'm going to use my vine to grip on to the other guy.
I will say I will let you do one or the other.
Okay, that's fine. Spike growth, please.
All right. So what's the radius on that?
20 feet.
20 feet radius or across?
Spear.
Sphere. Okay. I'm going to assume on the blue one to make it a little bit harder for them to get to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Da-da-da-da. So you immediately cast Spike Growth, and that's going to trigger fucking combat. So
Hey.
let me see here.
Hold on a second.
They started it, not me. I'm in the sun.
I'm trying to get my D&D Beyond to send the rolls over, but I can't. Let me just... I don't have button built on the Roll20.
Did you click over to the features tab to make it line up, or
What?
whenever I roll
Sometimes
on?
Beyond 20 needs to update, so it's like, hey, go to the features and traits to make sure it's updated.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before. I shall do that to see if it works. Like the features and traits on
Yeah.
my sheet?
On the D&D Beyond sheet.
Just click on that?
So-
Okay.
While Amy is fighting that, everybody can roll me initiative.
Hello.
And I'm going to
Nope.
Oh, really? Really sad.
Mm, 14.
God fucking.
What the fuck is this? I have button on here at a 16. Is that from the last fight?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess we're just doing this the old-fashioned way.
Well, go get some dice. I'll let you roll physical dice if you want.
Yo! Fucking. No, turn off. Stop it.
I will-
Things are. Technology is failing me today.
I will require you, if you say that you crit, I will need a picture.
Yes. Ugh. Where's my mushroom bag? There it is. Where's my dice box? I gotta get all my shit.
Don't worry, it's gonna
What's
take me a second.
happening?
You are not in a rush.
Now, what kind of dice do we use? Good.
This guy over here.
Ow! Fuck!
Step back.
You good?
Don't hurt yourself.
The mushroom bag thingy hit me in the eye. Alright. I'm gonna go with this orange and yellow set. And red set. Kind of fire. Alright, back in the dice bag. The rest of these go. 2, 4, 6, 7. No, I was just looking for a button dice set and I couldn't find one I liked enough.
Just let me know what your initiative is when you roll it.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll double check these really fast.
Ah, no! I'm just gonna mute. Things are going wrong.
Oh no. And then you have what? We good yet, Amy?
Amy!
Just from the looks of it, unless Butt manages to crit or something, Trixie's gonna be the first player up. We'll give Amy another minute or two to
Hi.
fix her shit. There we go. Hi.
Yeah, I have fixed my shit. I have... Sorry, things started falling all around me. Like, almost like a movie scene, honestly. It was comedic. But I have my dice. I have my dice box.
Did I not roll for Micken? Did not roll for Micken.
Go roll initiative. But I got a 9.
Okay. So,
Can I get a spelling for this captain guy's name?
yes. Let's see here. There you go.
Thank you.
So, one that is outside of the spike growth is the one that managed to go first. And he immediately stands up and pulls the bow off of his back. And knocks 2 arrows that he aims at Trixie as she is the highest up. And let's see here. That's a plus. I'm assuming a 22 will hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And it's a 17 hit.
Nope.
Okay. So they're going to do, that's 1 hit. Just one of these.
Hang on, Iris. I do want to remind you that you are, in fact, a monk.
Oh yeah, it's true, huh?
Oh yeah.
I have never been able to use that feature ever.
Shoot your monks.
Yeah, can I do that? The deflect missile?
I do not fully know what that does. Read it out to me.
You can use your
as a
reaction. I'm the monk. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
It's
Look at me.
my feature. As a reaction, you deflect or catch the missile when you are hit with a ranged weapon attack. When you do so, the damage you take from the attack is reduced by 1d10 plus 10. If you reduce damage to 0 and have a free hand, you spend 1 key point with a ranged attack with the range of 2060. So you can throw it back if it reduces it to 0.
Okay. Yes, you can do that. Let me roll the damage here.
Oh, sorry. That's the how much damage will take for me. So, yeah. What's up?
It's where the phrasing and saying "shoot your monks" comes from.
That is going to help you a lot. As you are going to take 8 points of piercing damage and then 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 points of radiant damage as the arrow, you manage to kind of deflect it and it just glances past your shoulder and slices your shoulder. But as it does slice your shoulder, something in the arrow itself ignites and there's just this blinding flash that hits you with the radiant damage.
Oof. So you said 8 and 15, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that was 6.
So essentially, you get most of the damage from the radiant damage.
Yeah.
And then. Yes,
She may be a moth, but she doesn't like those kind of lights, okay?
Not the bright, blinding ones, but it is your turn.
And that was green that just hit? Correct?
Yes.
So I will be honest here, friends. I'm not completely sure on what we want to do as a group here. I could help Micken. I could go after green, or I could try and play defense for the people, like in the alley for y'all.
Well, where is the spike growth exactly? We get a positioning on that?
It is a 20-foot sphere, so it's about 10 feet in either direction of the blue guy. So it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay.
Alright, well, Button can't run that way. So, Button is going to be going to this guy, because that's their only option. But they can't really do anything on this turn.
The other, so I will say this as Booker shouting out tactical suggestions. Booker will point to Trixie and be like, cut him off in the alley, and then point to Button, and then point to Micken, and be like, get back our twink.
That's so rich coming from Booker.
Hey, I'm the
You're the twunk.
twunk.
Thank you for the suggestion. So I will go here. Yeah, that'll work. Does landing in the spike rip, will I take damage from that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to be at the edge then.
My suggestion, to be clear, was for you to fly over the spike growth and get at this dude to stop him from running away.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah.
Because the spike growth will fill in, like, this part of the alley down below and this part of the alley a little bit as well.
Yeah, so the other two guys, if they try to run, will take damage. So they're not going to run, most likely, unless they are really freaked the fuck out and they want to just take the damage, which they might. This dude is liable to run away or try to flank or something.
Okay. I will fly over here.
Yeah, I set the spike growth so we have enough time to free our twink, as Booker so eloquently put it.
I will say that Button's action is going to be taken up by casting Quillfire. So they won't be able to do anything to actually help.
Do you have a bonus action? Because I don't know what Quillfire does.
It's the fucking spikes that they used to fight last time because
If
they don't
you
have their
something
thing.
that can do damage that's a cantrip, you can cast that.
I don't have one that's a bonus action.
Gotcha.
Quillfire is an action. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me double check real quick.
Okay.
Quillfire is a bonus action.
Hey, there you go.
Never
Most
mind,
of the
we're
ones-
good.
Yeah.
Alright, Trixie, finish up your turn.
I'm going to use the bonus action to trigger the Astral Arms of itself. You must make a dex save, DC 15. Take 2d6 damage.
That's a 15 nat without any addition, so.
Okay. And punch. For my actual action.
Let's go. Punch good.
Punch fun.
24 will hit.
And they get to attack twice. For extra attack.
22
Fuck
will
that.
hit.
And that'll be my turn.
8, 13. Okay. And it is Micken's turn. Oh, Micken, my boy. Do you... Yeah, that should work. Micken sees the chaos start and immediately he tries to like duck down out of the grip of this guy and will misty step himself away.
Yo, let's go.
Perfect.
And he is up here. There's just this kind of flash of like smoke that goes around him, a little whirlwind, and then a identical whirlwind pop up on the roof where he reappears. And he's just kind of crouched down and he's looking left and right. And you just hear this very faint Booker. You can't quite see him, but you just hear this very quiet, "This is why we should have gone to the rock, rat." And let's see, he does have a range here on this. Let me double check the reader on this. He will cast. Let me mark this down so he doesn't cheat. A create bonfire down. Passes his check so he doesn't get actually hurt. The little flames just go sailing by. And it is Booker's turn.
Okay. So... I'm rereading Spell Strike because this is a hard ability. And I need to make sure I do it right. Bonus action... Okay, Booker is going to withdraw his Beast Claw Knuckles, and he is going to use a bonus action to hit his weapon with a Spell Strike, and he is going to choose... Cause Fear. Yeah, that sounds good. Cause Fear sounds good. He's gonna choose Cause Fear. And he is going to rush up to this dude. Is this little bit like a ledge?
It's more like just a curb.
Okay, cool. So he's gonna rush up to this dude. He's gonna go right about here. I think that is within his range of movement-ish. Yeah. Booker's gonna go right there. And he is going to use his action to attack with the Beast Claw Knuckles. And I have to remember what the Beast Claw Knuckles do. They have a special thing. Where the fuck is their special thing? Is it damage? It's the attack roll. If the attack roll is odd and I hit. Okay. Cool. Then... Beast Claw. Shisha. 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
Hey, for 9 damage. And that is an odd number on the attack roll, which which plus one attack damage weapon on a successful hit. The attack rolled is odd. I apply a bleed effect that deals 1d4 at the start of the enemy's turn, but it does not stack. It can be reapplied, but not stacked.
Okay, bleed on this guy.
And then for Spell Strike, the next time you hit a creature with a weapon imbued with the spell, the target of this attack becomes the target of the spell. So, I hit my Beast Claw Knuckles with the Cause Fear. So he would have to make a DC 14. Is that right?
Wisdom?
Yes.
He passes.
Damn it. Okay. Well, Spell Strike is done, but I still have my extra 2 attacks.
You do.
So, second attack, second verse, 21
Will hit.
for 8 damage, and then the last one, 18
Will hit.
for 9 damage. That is a lot of damage. That is quite possibly the most damage Booker can deal back to back. But that is his turn. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Booker just slides
And then
right in.
Go ahead and roll your bleed damage while you're describing.
Yeah, Booker slides right in and he's just like, just nodding, just like, thanks for the lesson. Good to know that the wizard ones are slippery. And he's going to roll 2 for bleed damage.
Okay. And that will remove the bleed on this guy. And this elf just kind of tilts his head as you hit him, going across, and he's wearing... I can actually just... Hold on. Let's show you guys the full images of these people. That's not Spelljammer. That's Spelljammer. So this is Captain Dude.
Ooh, he looks very culty.
And this is the other 3.
Okay. Also, Joe, not Joe, sorry, it's also Z.
Mm.
Just to clarify, there's nothing happening to, like, Booker and Trixie, right? Because they're gone from the initiative on my screen.
They had multiple ones on here, so I'll just call you guys out whenever I'm seeing things pop up, because I'm too lazy to, like, fucking add people back in and, like, fight the initiative order, because I cleared it, but it didn't clear, apparently, so we're just, we're going,
Okay.
we're trying.
I'm just a paranoid bitch, and I want to make sure that they aren't, like, fucking disappearing or some shit.
No.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot bigger theatrics to them disappearing if they disappear.
Okay. I just want to double check.
I'm going to milk that bitch if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Okay, good.
So as you can hear and feel your blades getting through this elf's armor as you're striking and striking and striking. But and he just kind of lets out this, like, huff of air and takes, like, a half step back. And then there's that kind of overly toothy smile again as he reaches the hand that was around Micken, reaches it back and just curls his fingers. And as he curls his fingers, you see a morning star appear in his hand, glowing with this pulsing pale light. And he looks down the alley towards his comrades and looks back at you and shakes his head. And here we were, just wanting to have a conversation. And he will strike out first with the Morning Star. Let's see here. 19 hit.
Yeah. That does hit Booker.
Okay, and then that's going to
read
be...
my features.
Yep,
You're good though.
because you're about to get a lot.
Do you have shield?
I do not. I have too few spells per level
So he
I meant,
does,
like,
dedicate one to
innate.
shield.
as he brings
No, I
this
do not.
this Morning Star around and comes cracking down on your shoulder opposite of Liliana, and you will take, where's the 8? 7 piercing damage, and then 16 radiant damage as it
16.
comes cracking
Oh.
down on your shoulder, and just like the arrow, it erupts with this blinding light. And as this light erupts, it hovers above you and then comes streaking down towards Liliana. Liliana, I need a dex saving throw.
Yeah.
Can I use my reaction to activate my magical Aegis to reduce some of that radiant damage?
Yes.
Okay.
An 8
And I
will
can't
not
post
pass.
that if you like, but it only reduces magical damage as far as I can understand.
Yeah, if you
Um,
can use whatever you have. You guys are gonna need it.
That is the max amount of damage mitigation I can get, so it's 1d8 plus my int mod to reduce magic damage. So I reduce it by 12? 8 and 4? So I took how much piercing? And 7 piercing and 16 radiant reduced to 4. So 11 damage. Still alive. 1, 2,
And then so with an 8 on the dex save, Liliana, you can take 29 radiant damage.
I just got a feeling
I'm down.
that we shouldn't have fought these guys, because that's what I've been feeling this entire time.
I'm down.
And with that, the spike
Fuck.
growth is gone.
Fuck! I just used my reaction. Fuck!
Well, he grabbed onto Micken, so, like, I'm gonna defend the boy.
Yeah, that's why I was like, shit. Because if you guys had rolled higher on your perceptions, this guy rolled a 19 on his stealth coming up on y'all, so.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I was really to be nice, but then he got the boy, so I gotta help the boy.
Nobody is blaming you. It's just.
Oh, it's fine.
No. Z knew, like Z. I'm sure Z knows full well that if anyone touches Micken, shit's going down.
Yeah. That's kind of why I couldn't say anything, but you're like, I need Button towards the front of the group, I need Button towards the front of the group, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Well, shit, all of you moved away from Micken.
I was just worried. I was one of those things where it's like, if you like act or whatever, this dude's gonna just get a free strike on Micken and just go right for the neck and get like an auto crit or some shit.
That's what I thought,
Micken,
too, yeah.
I am really glad that Micken had fucking Misty Step. Holy shit, he's a real
Now, I'm
wizard.
in danger.
Oh,
He's
by
a
the way,
real whiz boy now.
reaction close wounds.
Okay.
Thank you. If I had not just used my reaction on myself, I was going to use reaction close wounds.
Roll that healing.
A D4. Let's go.
Like a D4.
Oh
like
shit!
a
I got a 4.
Hey!
It's gonna be a whole ass 9.
Okay, I
Get
have 9
defibrillator,
HP.
bitch.
Get the fuck back up. You started this.
Well, actually, he started it, just so you know.
You feel and see this radiant damage, or this radiant arc of light come down on Liliana. You feel Booker, her start to fall off of your shoulder, but then you just hear the incantation from Button, and there's just that moment where the vines tighten as Liliana pulls herself back up a little, actually a lot worse for wear. Couple of petals and leaves kind of falling to the ground.
I'll tell you guys right now, your druid running low on spell slots.
We got it. We got it. It's gonna be fun.
But it's the druid's turn, so you get that reaction back. Yay!
Yay! Let's
Good
fucking
timing.
go.
Also, you removed me from initiative altogether, it looks like.
Again, I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on
yeah,
with
yeah,
the turn order. I'll call y'all out when it's your turn.
Okay.
Alright, just be ready at all times.
Well, you guys should have
Uh.
some concept of when you go after this.
Yeah, my initiative was not great, so that's fine.
Yeah. Button is going to fucking tap 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 tap. Fucking run. Pretty sure they can make it. Yeah. Fucking skirt.
Skirt, skirt.
And you roll at advantage because you are now flanking.
They're gonna cast Quillfire as their bonus action, and that's their last third level slot. Guys, don't die. And it said roll at advantage. I can just roll 2 of these d20s. Oh my god, rolling physical dice. Sorry, I'm excited.
Rightfully so.
Wait, this was what the fuck was my modifier on this?
Oh shit, I gotta do math.
The downside to physical dice. We love the click-clacks, but we also hate the math.
I like the math.
Because does it even say? Hold on.
Should be your spell attack modifier, I think.
Spell attack modifier? Okay. That would be... Spell attack is plus 8. I got a 14. That'd be a 22.
That'll hit him.
This is going to be 2d8 piercing and 2d8 poison. The first one's going to be piercing. That's going to be a 6 plus 2. That's 8 piercing. And then 7 plus an 8. Holy shit. 15 poison.
Hey.
And then adding on, they already activated their fucking mushroom mode activated preemptively. So they get an extra d6 of necrotic. That's a 4 necrotic.
Goddamn.
Is that a reaction based thing? I forget
Nope.
what your mushroom stuff
So
does.
I have my Halo Spores, which is when a creature starts its turn within 10 feet of Button or moves into 10 feet. They do a con save or take 1d6. While they have their symbiotic entity up, their melee attacks deal an additional 1d6 necrotic.
Yeah. The
Oh.
Spore Druid is essentially the melee druid.
Mm-hmm.
It does a lot of stuff to benefit melee. So if you're going to go with a melee druid, Spore Druid and Wildfire, I think, are the two that are good. If you're not just straight up wild shaping like a Moon Druid. Alright.
Rude fact brought to you by Z.
Yeah. Fucking a piercing necrotic from this little robot.
Hiss from this elf as he kind of turns and glares at you over his shoulder, and you can hear him start to bark out in order in something that sounds like Elvish, but it's some strange dialect that none of you have ever heard before. And Liliana, you're up.
Okay. So, bonus action, I'm going to use the Lightfoot cantrip, which lets me move without provoking opportunity attacks this turn. Gonna hop right off a Button, or off of Booker. I'm going to reset up spike growth on that area again. Because fuck them, they're not allowed to move. And I'm gonna go hide behind this nice little wall over here. This looks like a nice wall.
Get behind the booth. Get behind the booth.
This is a nice wall. I like this wall. I should
Under
stay
the
behind
counter.
this wall.
I'm tall enough under the counter.
I like the guys are like, oh no, spikes! Oh, okay, we're good. Oh no, they're back!
So you set up spike growth again. They're not super happy. And they start their turn there. I believe it's only when they move through the spike growth, right?
Yeah, they have to move within it.
Mm-hmm.
It is difficult terrain as well.
5 feet it travels, so if you're Spartan on that guy. So you can roll a total of 2d4 per 5 feet. This guy's gonna go ahead and come out of this. So you can do 4d4 against blue.
It's per 5 feet. So if he's moving all the way 15, that's 30 feet of movement.
Well, it's a 20-foot sphere, right?
Yeah.
If it was centered
But
on
it's
him, then
difficult
it's 10.
terrain. Wouldn't it be... Hang on, maths.
Like,
Where
it
was
was
he, right
centered
here?
on. If it was centered
So-
on him, he could only have 2 squares of movement
Yeah,
to move through it,
yeah. So that it would be
Yeah.
4d4.
and he would have 10
And that
feet of
doesn't-
movement left.
Yes.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So he's using up a lot of movement. He's just not. He's just also.
gotcha.
Nice damage.
Yeah.
This fucking man's pissed.
His
Like-
fucking shins.
Fine, I'll walk through the spikes. I don't give a shit about tire patches.
Ow.
And he is out. He is not going to be able to make it to Booker or Button, but he is going to position himself here. And he's going to notch an arrow to fire first at Button. Let's see here.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Come on. Fucking dice rolling up. A 17 hit.
Yes.
Okay.
Most things will hit.
So that is 4 piercing damage plus 8 radiant damage as the arrow hits you and explodes in radiant light. He's gonna fire at you again.
Fuck.
Just 12. Okay.
That is a nat 20.
Ah, fuck.
Ugh.
We're just gonna double the damage because I don't fucking feel like doing the math for that.
Okay.
So you're going to take 24 total points of damage from the second hit. As it
Okay.
hits you straight in the chest and explodes in radiant damage again.
There goes mushroom mode.
And then this one is gonna fire twice up at Trixie. He's not gonna deal with fucking walking through the thorns. It's a 19 hit.
That meets my AC.
Okay, barely hits. The other one misses. For 14 total damage.
And I believe I can do the reaction thing here.
Yes, you have had a turn since. Hey, that'll cancel it out.
Throw it back at him. I don't know how that works. Now I'm gonna read it.
I think it just you just roll it as if it were an attack
Mm-hmm.
from you.
Mhm. You just reduce the damage and then you roll it as an attack. It has the range
Yeah.
listed as like 2060, I think.
Yeah, 2060.
Yeet.
So just roll like.
Roll a
Oh,
range
it's
attack.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I demand description.
Oh, it actually has a deflect missile roll thing. Cool.
Let's go.
Winchester says hi. He's very
Got
proud
it.
of you, Trixie.
He, how she did it is, he shot at her. She went, pursued with it, grabbed it, and in the full turn, threw it right back.
Like a high-speed pirouette.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's probably like the only time I'll ever be able to use this feature.
You never know, because this is good ranged realm that we are in, because we're including ship-to-ship combat and shit.
Mm.
So top of the round again, this guy's turn. That's a 19 and a dirty 20. As he watches as you pirouette and takes the opportunity to pull out this silvery, almost shimmering sword, dropping his bow, and will take 2 swipes at you. And this is going to be... Oop, nope, that's the wrong die. That one. For a total of 19 damage. Yeah, check your healing potions. Everybody should have had at least one when they came to brawl.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
He slices first at one of your arms and then at your legs and kind of is almost in this kind of semi-crouched position. And that's not like anything you've seen what looks to be knight do. It's a very different type of fighting. And each time the sword connects, there is, again, just these blinding flashes of radiant light and heat. And it is your turn, Trixie.
How high up are we?
You're about a good 25-ish feet.
When does fall damage start taking effect?
You
Over
can
10.
fly.
Right around there.
Yeah, so you get 1d6 of
Okay.
fall damage.
Trixie,
No,
you can
it's not about.
fly.
It's not about Trixie taking fall damage.
Just
Don't you
gonna
see? Amy?
push him off the roof.
Oh! I
It's
thought he was on the
about
ground
taking fall
level.
damage.
Sorry, I thought that he was on the ground floor shooting up at her. My bad.
No. The red one is, green one's not.
Gotcha.
Kind of looks at him like, fucker. She's gonna push him. Try and push him off the roof.
Okay, that's gonna be an athletics check.
Okay.
Contested. So what's
Push
this
him off
damage?
the roof and into a spike growth.
Exactly.
Yo.
That'd be so fucking funny.
Ow.
And this counts as a strength check / saving throw, correct?
Yes, it would be a check.
Okay, so I can use my wisdom instead.
Short
'Cause
of
you're
you
pushing with your
rolling
magic
a
arms?
fucking nat 1, because how poorly this dude just rolled, I think you've got it. So
Okay.
just don't roll in that one. Yeah, you're fucking...
Crit.
Holy shit! Get yeeted!
Push him all the way into the opposite wall, and he fucking bounces off of it.
Yeah, I'll let you roll
Landing
2d6
face first.
for that.
Yeah!
face first into the spike growth after hitting the wall.
2d6.
Dude's gonna come out looking like he just got a bunch of
And
free
then
piercings.
Liliana can roll a 2d4 since you just entered into the spike growth. Unwillingly, but
Piper is currently busy, so you said 2d4?
yes.
Oh, she checked. Okay, never mind.
Hey. The spike growth is what summoned her.
I know what I needed.
This guy lands. He is currently prone. That did take up your action to do that, though.
Yeah.
Worth it.
I can use a bonus action. Oh, wait, no, because I use that for the the innate spell ability, the stuff from the racial stuff, that's her proficiency currently?
Yes.
Okay, so I have one more. Then I'll use curse on this guy. On the prone guy.
Curse, you said?
Curse. Or, what's it? Hex.
Hex.
Hex. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
So you're placing hex on him. Gotcha. It is Micken's turn. Come on, boy. You got something useful here. Fucking, he's got to. There's several of them within range of this. His favorite spell.
Catapult.
Not shatter.
Oh!
Cast shatter.
Yo! Let's go!
So that's con saves. One's a nat 1, so that's good. And then the other one... Yep, nope, neither one of them. This guy is gonna take a lot of damage. Ooh, boy, he is not looking good. And you know what? Micken's not super happy right now. So
I choose to believe that every time Micken casts, he is doing some like very Keyleth-y type of like, "Ah!" and then blowing something up, like panicked screaming. Even his triumphant scream is a little bit panic sounding.
just you see him like poke his head up where he's crouching on this roof as he hears the thunk of this person falling on the ground, and just immediately, without a question or thought, just like throws his hand out and casts shatter, and you just hear this like almost thundering like crack of lightning right beside you sound from these two, and then as they are both kind of dazed for a moment, he will throw a bonfire at this guy that's on the ground. Because he's still got cantrips. He can still do that.
Hey.
So that's a dex save.
Is bonfire a bonus action?
Actually, no, it's not. Never mind. I thought it was.
I know, how dare I help the enemy, but also...
No, that's fair. I also thought it was. I don't use that spell fucking ever.
Let me just double check his other bonus action.
And-
Nope, so it's just the shatter. As he crouches back down, hides. Booker.
Hell yeah. Alright. Booker looks over and sees Micken just like thunderclap this dude super fucking hard. And will nod approvingly and then turn back to this dude and be like, alright, where were we? And he's gonna spin the blade and just go, actually, wait, hold on. I have to do my other class feature. Spell sight, I think it is. Spell sight, 100 sections. He's an action, or I don't want to do that. Oh, as a bonus action. Okay, cool. Yeah, then I'm gonna balefully mark the dude right in front of me. As the bonus action, I use a use of my spell sight. I have one left, thank God. To place a baleful mark on him. He is now marked by me. The mark is only visible to me while it's active. I know the exact direction and distance from me to the mark, so long as we're both on the same plane of existence and in the same like wild space sphere or whatever. When you damage the mark, they have disadvantage on saving throws to maintain concentration on a spell. When you force your mark to make a saving throw, you can end the mark to impose disadvantage on their roll. And I can choose to end it early as a bonus action, or it ends after a full hour. But I will mark him, so Booker's eyes just flash red, and he just stares daggers at him. Stares daggers at this dude. And he will take a step back and spin the blade around, and we're just going in full tilt with the just tack. There's dagger. There it is. There's the meme.
You have advantage on all three of these.
A 21, and then
21 will hit.
where is 21 for 8, 21 for 8, and 19 for 7. Shit,
All
I was
three
so
of those will
consistent. And I do apply a 1d4 bleed.
hit. Which you can go ahead and roll since his turn is right after yours.
A pog. He takes 3 bleed damage. We're going in. We're gonna tear this dude to fucking shreds.
He, as you slash at this guy, he's starting to look increasingly fucked up, and the more fucked up he looks, the more that kind of mask of false civility starts to crack. And there's more of a snarl, and in his eyes, Booker, is a look that is not unfamiliar to you from the group you grew up around. Of just a fervor of almost a righteous anger. And as you land the last hit, he kind of swats at your hand with his free hand, starts to bring the Morning Star up, and then looks down the alley towards the other three, who, at least 2 of them, are not looking great right now. And he shakes his head slightly, and will look back towards you since you're the one directly in front of him, and leans in. The light is going to burn all of you to ash. And with that, he shimmers for a second, almost like a mirage, before disappearing and reappearing right in the middle of this alley. And as he reappears there, he is already pulling out what looks to be a almost silvery thread that you have to look at it from just the right angle and just the right movement to even see that it exists before it burns into ash, and all 4 of them disappear in a shimmer.
Oh.
Liliana peeks out from her hubbyhole behind the. Yeah, you better run.
Does my mark? They teleported away, right?
Yes.
They're far away. Okay, that's what I thought.
You can still
Oh.
sense them on the rock, but they are not anywhere near you.
Booker's eyes are kind of glowing like a reddish tint from their usual yellow, and he is just kind of looking into nothing. Like he's just kind of staring into the middle of space, and his eyes are kind of darting back and forth like he's reading something. And he kind of narrows his eyes for a second and says, "I'm still on the rock, but I don't know where. I could maybe pinpoint him if I had a little bit of time, but fuck!" And he just like throws the dagger down onto the ground.
No, that's good enough for now. Just try and gauge the distance, and when we feel a little better, we can try and pinpoint them from there, yeah?
Booker runs his hand through his hair. Everyone all right?
Liliana takes her rifle position back on Booker's shoulder, and she sort of pats him on the head.
Just get this very faint. I'm alive. Funk as he falls down onto the awning next floor down, trying to climb his way off of the roof.
I was gonna say, if he's still up there, do we have to go get his ass?
No, he has climbed places he is not supposed to several times. He just has to get down to a certain level for levitate to enable him to move safely.
Mhm.
So as soon as he like thunks, you just hear this, oh. You see kind of roll over and look down at the ground, and then you just see this like swirl of a vortex of air and wind as he just kind of rolls off of the awning and kind of falls into this vortex, and it catches him and like lowers him to the ground.
Button's eyes just like tracking the movement. Turns back to Booker. I am perfectly fine.
Booker rubs his side a little bit.
Edward
Looks-
sights.
He'll look at some of the leaves that fell off of Liliana and just kind of scattered onto the ground, and he's like, "You don't look too good."
Oh, well, fish they got burned to a crisp, and then some angry cultist guy with a mace bashed me leaves on. Could
Pretty
use a
weird day
nap
at the
or two.
rock.
Very true.
What time of day is it, Z?
It is heading towards the evening. It's like early dinner time.
So, yeah, you guys know who that guy is, or?
Never seen him before in my life.
Well, I mean, we have a name now. I don't know if that's good or not.
What do you say his name was? Ari something?
Asmadian.
Asmadian. Wonder if the captain knows anything about him. You don't happen to recognize any of that armor symbols or whatever they were wearing, do you? Looking at Micken.
Micken, Button, and Trixie can roll history.
Ah, yes, a great stat.
Wait, do you want to roll or not?
No, it's always funny to me. I got a 6.
Well, lucky you, Micken is the wizard. So
I
we
got
can roll
none.
a 25. We can just kind of like crosses his arms for a minute and tilt his head one way and then the other, and you can see he's trying to remember something, and then he kind of blinks, and looks towards Button and Trixie kind of excitedly. Some of it, I think is kind of similar to some of the stuff you described about that ship that was on Hekatha.
Oh, turn to Trixie and Button.
Oh. The wreckage.
Mick nods. When we got sent to Hekatha to get some things for the academy, those two went down, and on shore was a shipwrecked in, at least from what you guys have described and kind of drawn, seems like it could be similar.
He fucking pulls out a notebook. I wrote down what I saw.
Not surprising.
Button would be the go-to for that. I don't really remember much.
Holding up a book above their head. It's about the size of their hat.
Because
Well,
we'll take the
slowly,
book
slowly.
from Button.
Yeah,
And
just like
start flipping through.
slowly. Yeah, just slowly like gestures to like someone take it. Please read it. I wrote it.
We can take the book and start flipping through. Pauses, goes back 2 or 3 pages, goes forward another page. Yeah, this. He will motion towards the entry describing the ship. And there are indeed some similarities towards the color scheme and kind of the patterns that are described as being, that Button described on the ship and kind of carved into the ship and like the decorations of it would sound very similar to what was on the knights at the very least. And Micken will kind of tilt his head slightly. If I was going to make an educated guess, I would say that these might be the same elves that we're kind of looking for in general, because those, at least the one that is behind me, Captain, was an astral elf. They're the only ones I know that have that type of eyes.
Well, we can't really do anything about it now, right? It's not like we know where he is. We have to keep our eyes peeled.
Just more shit to look out for until we can get the upper hand on him.
Well, I guess they always said that the rock was going to be exciting.
Yeah, exciting, not aggravating. This is pissing me off. Booker will bend down and pick up his dagger and stick it into his belt pouch.
Does that happen often?
I'm not sure what you're asking happens often, because most of the time you ask what happens often, and it's not something that I even really think about happening at all.
You being, and they put up their hand to quote, pissed off.
Oh, Booker gets pissed off about everything.
That's not true. Looking kind of grumpy.
She pats him on the head. She gives him a there pat on his head.
I do wonder what original intentions were. If they did want to fight, or if they did want to talk about something.
There is no way they wanted to actually talk with us.
Yeah, I'm not crossing my fingers that they wanted to have a polite conversation.
I kind of disagree with that. Like, what's the point in picking a fight with us? What have we done?
That's what I'm wondering. Don't know what we did to piss them off, but they know that we would have been pissed off at them. Because if we had no
Well,
reason to, why would they take a hostage? Gestures to Micken.
not only that, but weren't they already setting up for an ambush?
Hard to tell. I would have liked to ask them. I thought they were just skulking around following us. It's not uncommon to get people who follow you and want to mug you, but those don't look like muggers.
Oh, what did they say? The light will burn us to ash or something?
Something like that.
Makes me think of those things back on Tarda.
That it does.
Didn't they make them, like, super insane?
Booker is going to look down at his bag and then reach into his bag and pull out the book of Elder Evils. And he's just going to flip through it very casually. I doubt he'll see anything just from a very quick skim. But that phrase doesn't come up anywhere, like the light will burn you or anything like it, right?
Roll me an Arcana.
Arcana.
At advantage, because this is, you do know this language.
Oh, 11. Oh, that hurts.
You get some words that jump out to you as like, I know this word, I know that word. Nothing even remotely close to that.
I mean, we could always go back to the library if we want to.
No, we got other fish to fry.
Micken just kind of nods like, I think it might be best for us to get on our way. Get somewhere that's maybe friendlier, maybe safer.
I think you're right. And he'll turn to Button and be like, I'm not talking about little fry fishing, or fish frying. That's a turn of phrase. I'll explain it to you later. And just waves a hand.
You see, Button was
Trained.
like doing that, like one finger up motion to like ask a question. Finger goes down. Nod.
Booker's been trained.
Thank you for the clarification. I appreciate it.
Right, let's get to the rock rat. See if we can't find our man.
Nod.
So you all continue on across the middle city and through the low city, and as you are entering into the low city, you can tell that it's not winding down for the day. It's not heading towards bedtime. It's very much heading towards dinner and drinking hour. As a couple of the shops and places of business that you pass are starting to close down. There's more and more closed for the evening signs. More and more places with their lights out or their windows shuttered and covered. However, every single restaurant and tavern and venue for shows and music and everything else that you might want to spend an evening doing is starting to draw crowds. It's not yet at its peak, but it is heading towards that. And as you make your way past the lesser market, which has another section of booths and shops and various places to buy and peddle goods, like the greater market, but much smaller, much dingier, much less crowded. You can see that that's almost completely empty by the time you get past it and get towards this shabby little building that is centered right in the middle of a block close to the docks. So close, in fact, that you can see some of the larger spelljammers and the spelljammers that are on the higher docks from your position very clearly as you turn around the corner and head towards this building. It's made of this old, gray, almost dead-looking wood with a dark ceiling that, though there are no holes or obvious damage that you can see, very much could use a little bit of tending to, a little bit of repairs to try and make it look a little nicer. This looks like a building that was built probably a generation or two ago and has not really been kept up beyond just making sure that it is still standing and has no holes in it. And as you enter into the Rock Rat, I believe I have a map somewhere here.
Booker telling him, like, by the way, the Rock Rat's kind of a sty. Don't tell Maya I said that. And he'll look at Trixie and be like, you'll like Maya. She's rough. In a nice way.
Can't wait to meet her.
You enter into the Rock Rat. You see a very, as opposed to the Happy Beholder, which is overly bright and crowded and loud, and everything, though it is worn and used, is still in very good condition. You walk in and you see a very kind of dark and dim interior. There's just a little magical tune playing from somewhere, you're not quite sure, but it's more like it's an enchanted music box than any bard or actual person playing. And as you look around across the tables, every single table is mismatched to each other. Every single chair is mismatched to each other. There's not a single one that looks like it belongs to anything else in the tavern. And let me see here. It's a very quiet atmosphere that is hovering over. There's only two kind of large tables full of people. All of them look to be mercenaries or sailors of one type or another, all with weapons and various type of armors. You can see a couple of them look up as all of you enter, kind of cast a glance over their shoulder, but then very quickly turn back to their conversations, all kind of whispered and hushed back and forth across the table. And in the very far corner, you see at a table by himself, a very solitary looking Gif, and sitting large, almost overflowing the seat that he's in. And on his shoulder is a very, very fat blue parrot with an eye patch that immediately locks onto you. It is watching you from the far corner. And as the door jingles open, you hear first this thud of something hitting the counter, and then up over the top of the counter, rubbing her head, which you assume to be the owner of the tavern, peeks out. And let me see if I can get that picture. Where's Booker's shit? Because I know it's in Booker's chat.
All the way at the top.
There we go. You see a kind of worn, frazzled looking woman with a crown of very kind of bright, pale flowers around her head. But as you see her hand raising, you can see it's covered in fur, kind of clawed. And there's markings across her face and neck that she is not human. She's something else. You can't quite put your finger on it. And she is like, you hear her cursing under her breath in at least 3 different languages as she's rubbing her head and kind of blinking blearily over to the door. And then she blinks again. It seems to like clear up a little bit and perk up a little bit. And then you just hear, fucking Booker!
He'll give a 2-finger salute in the same way that he always does. You're like, Maya, good to see ya.
When
Right.
your slimy
Pointing.
barnacle ass gonna get back here?
This is like a it's good to see you thing, not like a it's
Yeah,
gonna be like one of those.
No, she talks like this all the time.
Oh, okay, good.
It's more when she goes silent that you know you're in trouble.
Hell yeah. But then Booker will like elbow bump everyone around him. Well, really, just Micken and he'll really just elbow bump Micken and Trixie, and then like nod to follow him, and he'll walk up to the bar.
And she will very quickly, like you see, there was plates and cups and stuff on the bar. None of them are dirty. They don't have food or drink in them. But it looks more like she's just kind of frazzled, didn't quite either remember to take them where they were supposed to, or wasn't able to put them where they're supposed to go. And you see her very quickly stack them up, rearrange them, move them off of the bar onto a shelf behind her, which is, again, very clearly not where they're supposed to go. But she doesn't seem to care, as she kind of makes way for like a space at the bar, and then pauses. Are you all these your friends?
Coworkers. And he'll turn back and look at everyone and give them a wink.
She like looks over everybody, and Micken's just kind of like was following behind Booker and kind of hunches as she looks in his direction, just kind of like there's this like timid little wave. And she looks down to Button and up to Trixie and over to Liliana on Booker's shoulder. First time you brought any of your coworkers here.
Don't listen to him. We're his new besties.
That bastard.
Booker will nod his head towards Trixie, looking at Maya and be like, "Oh, by the way, that's Trixie. You're like her. She's trouble."
Looks towards Trixie.
Well, the good one.
Don't go breaking none of my plates or I'm gonna kick your ass. Points this clawed finger.
Never. I could juggle them for you, so if you want.
Fuck no.
Just grinning.
And she's kind of doesn't ask for orders, just immediately starts pulling, again, mismatched, different sized and shaped tankards out from under the bar. One is like barely half a pint, another one is over a pint, one is made of copper, one is made of wood, one is made of a stone, you're not quite sure. She starts pulling them out and filling them up and just randomly handing them to you. Not seemingly in any order of like, give the smallest to the smallest person. No, it's just whoever's first and she fills up.
Oh, can Button get the biggest?
Yes.
Yes.
Booker will fucking cut Button off. Like, you go for the biggest one and Booker will see you reaching for it, and he's gonna go and try to take it before you get it, and then hand you the smallest one.
No,
Can Trixie
Button wants the big one. Button will fight on this. Button wants the biggest one.
Alright, 3-way dex save.
No!
Hell yeah.
Oh man, this is gonna be awful.
And dex save is not my best save.
I got a 15.
Oh,
They beat
of
Booker.
course.
Trixie
Beat
gets
Booker.
it.
Thank you very much.
I imagine Booker tries to take it from Button, and Button just like slides it slightly to the left a little bit, just out of reach. And as Button like lifts it up with like both hands and starts to tilt it, that's when Trixie takes it by the handle.
Thanks, Button. Very kind of you to hand this to me.
What?
Booker looks very satisfied.
Maya just kind of like
He wanted
pauses
it,
and
but he'll
pouring
take it a
shit.
win.
Maya pauses and pouring in the next one, kind of watching this. And then, again, lifts this clawed finger and points between all three of you, just like back and forth. You spill that shit, you're gonna use the mop yourself and fucking clean it up. Otherwise, I'm gonna turn you into the mop.
Button's hand shoots up, raising up a hand.
Just the finger goes from being very straight to kind of like curled back in, kind of confused. Looks at Button. Looks at Booker.
Button is waiting
Yes,
for hand still
yes.
up.
They ask a lot of weird questions. They don't know a lot of stuff about.
Why
I
the
don't know a
fuck
lot
are
of.
they like raising their hands? This isn't school. I'm not a fucking teacher. What are you doing that for?
I
Oh.
have a question.
Okay.
May I assist you in cleaning and preparing things?
She just kind of blinks and looks around. And again, there is a noticeable on certain tables like a layer of like dust. But unlike this picture would suggest, there is not necessarily like food and shit all over the place. It just seems to be very much like the ADHD cleaning spree, where you start cleaning one thing and forget about it as you start to clean another thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that across the entire tavern.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't finish any one particular objective. And she just kind of looks around and looks back at Button. Why? You're not trying to pull a trick on me, are you?
No, they're just weird.
Do
In a
not
nice way.
Be helpful.
And she looks back around the tavern. And then looks back at Button. As long as you don't bother any of the other customers, knock yourself the fuck out, I guess.
nod. Say less. Button hops off the stool and starts in this corner systematically cleaning things and gathering discarded plates. That's what Button's doing.
Maya is
Sorry,
like,
Z, you
silent for a moment, watching Button. And then looks back at Booker again.
Booker just shakes his head a little bit and shrugs, just like, I don't know what to tell you. It's a weird one. I like weird nice.
I like being helpful.
Okay. I guess to make my fucking day. She just shakes her head and finishes pouring everybody drinks.
I didn't really end up coming here first, she says as she kind of leans back on the stool.
That's what I fucking ask myself every single time there's a new fucking Spelljammer. They always go to either the fucking Edge or the Happy Beholder, because largely just such a fucking giggle. But no, nobody ever comes here. You have triggered a rant.
She was more talking towards Booker, but yeah. Oops.
Booker just gestures to her and she's like, she's real sensitive about the bar. It's her pride and joy.
I can see why. It's a great place. Really does remind me of home.
And as you say that, there's kind of this pause in the rant, and Maya just kind of leans across the bar a little bit to get like a little bit closer to you, almost not in your personal bubble, but very, very close to it. As she kind of examines you and tilts her head. Home. You look really fucking familiar. You're not from here, though, right?
No.
You see this kind of frown and, like, wrinkle of brow. And she tilts her head. Never had, like, really short fucking hair, right?
No.
Buzz cut. She starts, like, gesturing with her hands, like, approximating a hairdo. Which you do reckon, as she's explaining it, one of your brothers wears their hair like that.
Oh. Which one?
I don't remember which one right now.
Make up one.
No, because she gave me the names.
Yeah, I got the names.
That's the Iris.
I have the names. Where you get the names? Fuck. Hang on. It's very specific.
Is your Trixie sheet?
Hang on.
Is it in the OneNote?
No, I think it's in our DMs. Yeah. Wait. You know Leo?
And there's just kind of this, like, snap of the fingers, and she straightens up. Yeah, that fucking bastard. He comes through here every now and then.
Booker, his eyebrows go up, and he just slow head turn to Trixie.
What? My brother's a Spelljammer.
Oh, you didn't share with the class. Fuck's that about?
You didn't ask.
He goes to protest, and then just shrugs. He's like, all right, fair enough. Do you have any other secrets that you've been keeping from us?
She kind of shrugs. I got a big family.
How many siblings do you have?
5?
Holy hell.
You are not turning this into a fucking moth nest.
Was that in character or was that Z?
That was in character.
I mean, I've never been here before. How was I supposed to know he's been here?
And every time there's somebody that comes through that somehow knows somebody else, they end up finding each other and causes fucking chaos. She's like, is again seeming to like rant, like tangent herself into something else. Just kind of throws up her hands as she goes, turns around, picks up the stack of plates and cups that she had taken off of the counter to make space for y'all. Picks them up, starts to like move them as if heading towards the back kitchen, and then pauses as she like spots something, puts them back down on the very end of the counter, picks up a couple of rags from under the counter, starts folding them, heading back to the other end. You see, just incapable of finishing a task.
Yeah, her ADHD is really flaring up right now.
And she just, as she's like going back, folding these rags and putting them into like a little basket under the counter closer towards where you all are sitting, she just kind of tilts her head. Oh, what fucking home? Where's your home?
Toro?
And she kind of blinks. And then shakes her head. There's a little bit of like a more serious look on her face. Sorry about that one.
Hopefully, things will work out.
Yeah, there's been a lot of fucking people managing to get to the rock. I don't know if they're the worst off or the best off and get off that fucking rock. I don't even know what the fuck's going on down there. All I know is it seems like hell.
Well, it's not good, I can tell you that much.
We
Sorry.
got off ourselves.
You haven't had anybody coming in from the rock and paying you a bunch of visits here, have you?
She kind of like looks around the bar and shakes her head. I mean, there's been a couple of refugees straggle their way through, but that's just because they no space at the fucking Happy Beholder. So you find their next best place to drink, I guess. A couple of them are up in the inn rooms upstairs. And Booker, you know that there's like a grand total, like 5 rooms that she has that are barely big enough for like a wash basin, a like little tiny twin bed, and like a coat rack. And she just kind of shrugs, like, a couple of them are upstairs in the inn rooms, but gold's gold. Fucking feel a little bit bad about taking it, but at least they're getting to bed. Better than some of them.
Hey, fair enough. Well, something else to pick your brain on. And, Booker will lean on the counter and try to look nonchalant, but he's trying to block with his elbows, his hands and his face, and he will just say, like, that guy in the corner with the bird, do you know him?
And she, like, very pointedly looks over your head towards the corner, blinks, and then nods. Yeah, that's Crexy. He's in here every other day or so.
Nodding slowly. Commodore Crux, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I don't fucking care about his title. I don't think he might have used it once or twice, but he knows better now.
Do you know anything, do you know if he comes in here with any strange customers? Or is it usually just him?
I mean, he's come in once or twice with a, I don't know, mage girl, I think, and then another fucking gif, but I haven't seen that one in, God, months at this point.
Booker, like, immediately looks at Button, who I assume has been taking notes.
No, Button's buzzing around this tavern cleaning.
I'm cleaning.
Button is systematically cleaning this tavern. Like,
he looks down to where he imagines Button would be taking notes, and he sees no one, and then looks up and sees Button cleaning across the room. Just goes, "Oh, for pity's sake!"
fucking. So what happens when your note taker gets distracted? But also, like, this is just a trap. This entire place is just a trap for Button. Z knows Button's backstory. You knew what you were doing.
I can't take credit for this. This is actually from the fucking book.
You knew exactly what Button would do when they got here. And that's clean and repair.
Yeah, you just see, like, you look towards Button, you see Mickens, like, down at the end of the bar trying to, like, be close enough to listen, but also far enough away that he's not going to get called on by Maya somehow. And you see him, like, looking between Maya and then back over his shoulder at Button when he hears, like some glass hitting glass. And then back towards Maya when she starts talking again. the back towards Button when he hears a weird noise.
Imagine Buttons carrying a giant, like one of those big dish totes of
Mhm.
dishes. They have at this point gotten all of the dishes. They're going to. It's essentially, if I may call you out here a little bit, Z.
Oh,
It's like when me and Z used to power wash. Button has first collected all of the dishes, probably brings like a giant fucking crate that they should not be able to carry, but they do. Deposits it here with all the other dishes, and is now going to go and clean all the tables.
Booker just like shakes his head a little bit and then turns to Trixie and is just like, "Fuck is their deal? I need a note taker."
Helpful. Am I being helpful?
Fine, you take notes. And looks at Trixie.
Why don't you do it yourselves? I have the drink here. It's a long sip.
Hmm. Try my patience. Pinches the nose of his brow. Anyway. This Commodore guy. When did that mage girl show up last? Not the GIF.
She just kind of like, you see her tilt her head the opposite direction and like scratch her head, side of her head that's up higher, in almost a more animalistic fashion. You see her hair kind of flopping into her face a little bit as she scratches. I don't. The fucking maid girl. When was that? When was that? Was, I don't know, 5-6 weeks ago maybe. Been a while.
Nods and just kind of thinks about it for a second. Well, one more thing. You haven't seen any weird-looking guys in yellow and gold-looking armor, kind of
Those
religious-y.
fucking bastards, they're all over. Well, they were all over the place.
The genuine surprise is like, go on, do tell.
They're the fucking, I don't know, guard or army or I don't know what the fuck they said they were. They've just been a fucking pain in the ass. They're the ones that came, what, earlier last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that, telling everybody on the rock to like not head towards Toril. And they just like fucked off after they told everybody and left a handful on Brawl. And you know, the prince and his dumbass and advisors, and they never ask. They never ask the people what they want, do they? No, they don't. They just gave them fucking immunity.
Immunity from what? Like political immunity?
I guess. Guard doesn't do fucking shit about them. And Booker, you would know that there is a military and guard presence on Brawl that usually, when there's a big enough fight breakout in Middle and Low City at the very least, they pop out and you did not see a single guard heading your direction during or after the fight that you were just in.
I don't like that one bit.
Nobody
Useless
does.
fucking guard.
From what I know, the entire fucking Merchants Guild, entire Tavern Guild, every single one of them, none of us want them here. But, you know, what the prince wants, the prince gets.
This prince sounds like a piece of work.
Now you're telling me. But why are you asking all these questions? Like, did you just, like, she, like, looks over all of you, and she finally seems to clock that all of you look to various degrees beat up. And she kind of blinks. Wait. Did you pick a fight with those motherfuckers?
Hey, they took one of our dudes hostage. We finished the fight with them.
And there's just kind of this, like, look of not impressed, but kind of appreciation, that, like, little nod of, like, okay. If you did, then I guess first round on the house. I can drink up.
We also made them run away.
Well, they probably fucking ran away because they knew if they stuck around for too long, somebody was going to get pissed off and help you.
Good to know they're not well liked around here.
She just kind of like snorts and shakes her head. I saw one of them getting fucking chased out of a store the other day, and the fucking owners were throwing rocks at him.
Booker looks a little pleased about the turn of events that he's... Like, honestly, he expected this to be an uphill battle, where it's like, we have to work against the popular group here. Oh, this seems good. Fighting dickbags sounds great. Well, looks to the rest of the group. Thinking we should go give Commodore Cruxy a visit, don't you?
Just to clarify this out of character, the only thing that they have done that's annoying or bad is basically act like they own the place, essentially.
The elves?
Yeah.
It's a little bit more
they
than
get,
that.
Like, they get impunity from the guards.
Yeah, so they, essentially what has happened and what you've gathered through various people telling you, bits and pieces of it, is they came through right before the attack on Toril, within a couple of days before, sat down, told everyone on the Rock of Brawl, don't come to Toril or you will die.
Mm-hmm.
And don't try to help Toril or you will die.
Okay.
Because technically, if there is a big enough threat to Toril, the Rock of Brawl, and this is stuff you would also have learned in the academy, technically the Rock of Brawl should at the very least come to try and help Toril, because Toril is one of their primary worlds for Brawl. The Brawl is, at this point, largely independent. It benefits both if both are still alive and well.
Okay.
But these guys came and said, don't go to Toril or you will die. Don't try to help Toril or you will die. And then fucked off. And for some reason, you're not quite sure why or how, the prince and his advisors accepted that and also gave them political and legal immunity on the Rock.
Okay. Got it. So it also is tied to the fact that the prince hasn't, like, agreed with them, essentially.
Yeah. Because so it's like, imagine if like another country went to the U.S. and said, don't come and help this other country we're attacking at all, or you will die if you are there. We will kill your soldiers if you are there, with a heavy implication of we will also come and attack and kill you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
And-
it is like a weird, like, we got here first, no one else is allowed, and also like, why? Like, where? What kind of authority did they just pick up from fucking where?
And on top of that, too, the fact that Brawl and Total are allies, it's kind of like a slap in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Very loose allies, more allies insofar as they are merchant allies. They are trade allies. The prince on Brawl does not answer to anybody on Toril, and nobody on Toril answers to the prince. It's just it's beneficial because that is one of the primary inhabited planets of realm space, where a lot of people, either they or their families, originated on Toril and ended up on Brawl. And then a lot of people going to and from Brawl, either going from Toril to Brawl out of realm space, or they hit Brawl coming into realm space on their way to Toril.
Okay.
There are other inhabited,
the
like almost all of the planets in realm space are inhabited, but much, much less so than Toril.
Thank you for clarifying. Sorry for the derailing.
You're good.
Any thoughts from the others? Amy and Piper?
Fuck the elves.
Fuck the elves.
I'm eating chips. Sorry.
My voice seems to be cutting in and out as well.
And also, Button is busy.
And also, Liliana's at 7 HP.
And
I would
go ahead.
I would say try to find, like, while you still have your pinpointing power up, get as much of their, like, general direction as you can, and let's go fuck them up once we get some rest. They're clearly involved with the Toril shit, so we can't leave them here.
So we have a general consensus of fuck the elves and figure out how to deal with them.
I don't know if we should, like, fight them now, because goddamn, they hit hard.
We were also low on spell slots, and I was also at half HP, and also, like, if we play it like we did with this fight, with just tactical excellence, you can fuck them up pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the fight, but my next biggest thing is, like, Commodore Crux is involved with them to some degree. We learned this.
Didn't he, like, not like them?
Yes.
Yeah, when are we, like, planning to talk to him and be like, yo, what up? Yo, you don't like these elves? Yo, we don't like these elves.
Yeah,
And that was my understanding.
When you asked Luigi about, hey, what do you know about this shit? He pointed you towards Crux and said, he knows more about this. And he doesn't like these people.
Oh, okay. I guess I totally missed the dislike somehow.
But that's why we're gonna talk to him. We'll be like,
Yeah.
yo, guess what? We already have something in common. And you have a cool bird. I think we can work something out here.
Okay.
We have a
Then
bird, we have a button.
with that, I will give a good, like, nod to Maya and hold up my glass. Be like, cheers. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go pick Crux's brain about some elf problems then.
Good fucking luck. He's in his cups, so I don't know how much fucking sense he's gonna make, but at least it also means he's less likely to shoot anybody, so that's good. Good for my bar. No more fixing.
Want some backup?
I'm pretty sure, or like, Booker will look and be like, oh, I figured if you're not busy.
Let's do it. She gulps down the rest of her big drink and sets it down.
It's instantly picked up by Button.
Megan just like watches Booker and Trixie walk away. starts to get up to follow them, looks towards Button, looks towards them. We just can see here what he ends up doing. Nope. He just like looks back towards Button again and just slowly turns his hand, and you feel first the little spiral of wind as everything that's in your hands starts to levitate. And then a couple of the other things that you were like moving around starts to levitate. And he just kind of like looks around. I don't know what you're wanting to do first, but I can maybe help.
How do you figure?
He's talking to Button.
Oh.
He just started lifting everything that Button was trying to move.
Buttons. I would say that their eyes go wide, but they don't. Their eyes are very stationary. Their eyes are always wide. They're big circles. His turn to look at Micken, and Button like raises their arms up in like a big gesture. And like their arms both like point to like the bin they're gonna put all of these things in. It's like, that would be appreciated. I am collecting all of the things and then transporting them to be cleaned, and then cleaning the tables and then the floors, and then looking to see if there are any repairs I can make before moving on to tackling all of the things I collected. I have a system.
He just kind of looks around, and slowly there is the procession of plates and silverware and cups just being kind of levitated across the room towards the bins. You can see his hands just kind of both palm up, fingers kind of moving independently in various directions and speeds as he is manipulating all of these objects.
Golf clap.
So he's being able to help pick up at the very least.
Yay. That frees up the Button to do more cleaning.
That leaves Liliana, Booker, and Trixie to head over towards Crux.
Sorry guys. Social interaction, not the nerd style.
Who's heading up front? Who's approaching? How are we doing this?
Booker is gonna walk over there. I guess he'll lead the discussion unless anyone else wants to.
Trixie will just hang back behind Booker, let him take the lead. He's the talker.
Go ahead.
Booker will walk over there, have a drink. Well, before he walks over there, he'll grab an extra drink from Maya. Be like, give me one for me and one for of whatever Commodore over there is drinking. Gotta butter him up first. We're gonna talk business, he might as well be deeper in the cups. I won't make a mess.
And she just kind of nods, and essentially what she ends up pouring is essentially a bomb drink of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And
Perfect.
just hands it over to you. And as you approach, the parrot seems to notice all of you first and just starts watching and keeping its eye on you as you come closer and closer. And once you're a good 15-20 feet away, passing by the table full of other people, it kind of puffs up and shakes itself a little bit, and that movement seems to alert Crux as he goes from kind of focusing on some scroll that he's writing in to looking up at all of you. He kind of blinks, and it's that very slow blink of somebody that is not gone drunk. But definitely drunk. And once you hit the table, you can smell it. And I will here show you all the Commodore.
Just to double check, Crux, Krux, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I love that parrot so fucking much.
I like
Seeing
that
some
the
shit.
parrot has an eye patch.
I know, the parrot's seen some shit, man. Look at him.
And as you come up to the table, Crux just kind of leans back in his chair with that creaking groan of wood underneath him. And eyes all of you up and down. Oh, boy, so who do we have here?
Booker sits down and slides one glass closer to him, and will say, "I heard you're the man to talk to when you have a problem with some hoity-toity elves who dress in a particular color and demand attention."
And as you slide the glass across, he is kind of like looking at it curiously, this like brow arch a little bit, and you start to talk about the elves. As soon as he hears the word elf, his eyes dart towards you, and you can see he has this massive pipe hanging out of one corner of his mouth, and he kind of chews on it a little bit, and you can hear the wood protesting, and the pipe kind of turned side to side for a second, and he just a little bit of a nod. Yep, you've heard right about that. Fucking Xarxian elves are a pain in the ass.
Xerxian elves?
Yes, I will copy and paste this. Give me a second. Because it's a bitch to spell. I misspell it all the time.
Yeah, I did not stand a chance. Jesus Christ.
Thank you, wizards, for giving us fucking horrible fantasy names. I'm assuming that was Joe asking Xarxian. Or was that
Yes.
Booker?
That was Joe asking. But does Booker know anything about the word or anything Xerxian? Is that something he's heard before?
I don't know if I've given you this name before.
I don't recognize it.
I don't think I have. And it's not something you just know off the top of your head.
Gotcha. Then Booker will, in character, he'll just raise an eyebrow and be like, "Xerxian? Is that a planet or a sphere?"
And there's just this long sigh that is both coming out of his mouth and releasing a plume of kind of dark purple smoke out of his pipe. And it's kind of almost sickeningly sweet smelling, especially over the stench of ale and alcohol that seems to permeate this man. And he shakes his head slightly. Fucking empire from astral space.
That can't be good.
If you think just taking over anything and everything that they want, no matter what anybody does or says, is good.
And they are here now on the rock.
He nods and reaches for the drink, and you can hear the clink of the shot glass as he drops it into the drink. And
As soon as that shot glass is dropped into the drink, Booker will slide it back half an inch, like not let him have it just yet, and be like, "So, you're a Commodore. What do you know from the prince's side of things?" And then he'll slide the drink back. If you don't mind sharing.
And as you slide the drink, like, you slide it away, there's this huff of annoyance. And the parrot hops off of his shoulder and onto the table with this very ungraceful flutter. This is a fat parrot. You don't think it can fly very far. And as you slide the drink back, the parrot comes up, eyeing you with its single eye, and moves to sit itself between your hand and the drink so that you can't grab it again. It just plops down, kind of almost looking like it's melting with how it plops down and just kind of overflows where you expect it to be. And the bird is probably the size of at least 2 good tankards. At least. You've never seen a parrot like this before. And Crux grabs the drink and knocks back about a good quarter of it before he speaks. Shakes his head. Former Commodore, though I still have the rank. And he looks at you and then glances past you to where Liliana's on your shoulder, and then towards Trixie, and back towards you, and will lean a little closer towards you, lowering his voice just a little bit. What's all of this interest in the fucking elves?
Oh, but we just beat up like 5 of them.
There's that. They've also been, well, only recently, tailing us.
I think we're interested in what's going on with them.
I don't trust their whole innocent act of jumping in here and pretending like they're not maybe somehow capitalizing off of a dangerous threat that's ravaging all of Toril right now.
Or potentially causing it.
And he just nods his head to Trixie. Or that.
And as he listens and his eyes go back and forth between all of you as each of you speak up, you can see this kind of angry, bitter smile twist his mouth. And as Trixie finally says, or causing it, he lifts a hand, snaps a finger, and points towards her. Sounds like you guys already got it half figured out.
Do you want to help with the other half?
And he kind of tilts his head slightly and will reach out and with one large finger kind of lift a portion of your jacket, Booker, where there's a nice big cut across it now from one of your wounds from the day. It just kind of lifts it and lets the cloth fall back. This from your tangle with the elves?
He straightens his jacket a little bit, kind of rolls his neck and his shoulders, and just goes, and he'll nod once. Yup.
And he'll look towards Trixie. Are you guys planning on actually doing something about this?
They beat me to death with a Morning Star. I'm going to go fuck them up.
What's the goal?
And go ahead.
Oh, I mean, if we can, we'd like to figure out how to fix what happened before. So they're probably the key.
And with that, there's just this kind of half cut off laugh that comes from deep in his chest as he slaps Booker on the arm, as he's the only one that's close enough to do so. Not where Booker is injured, just a little bit lower than that. Probably a little closer than comfortable, but not intentionally hurting Booker. He leans back in his chair again and takes another huge swig of this drink in front of him. Oh, that's good to hear. And gives a little nod. You guys are actually planning on fucking doing something, then we'll get along perfectly well. It's been too damn long since anybody's actually tried to do anything about this.
Booker will give him a very, very evil-looking smile. Very satisfied to see how his reaction has gone. Things seem good so far.
And he kind of looks around for a second at the rest of the people in the bar and then looks back towards Booker, Liliana, and Trixie. I'm more than happy to tell you all anything you want to know. But those fuckers left more than a few of their elves on the rock when they left. There's no telling if there's any that are hidden, let's say. And there's just this very subtle gesture with like one finger around his cup, around the bar. And again, it's not packed, but there is a good number of people, none of whom any of you recognize. And he kind of taps his finger against the glass. Don't suppose any of you have someplace private? Nobody's going to overhear.
I don't think the captain would mind if we part the ship, right? For the meeting?
Don't think so. Especially if we tell her that we've come up with a plan. After our little meeting.
Meet at the dock, son?
We have a ladybug ship.
And there's just this kind of tilt of the head. Ladybug ship. Been a while since I've seen any of those. He just kind of nods and looks over Liliana very pointedly. How about I meet all of you there in either a couple hours? Actually, going to say a couple hours. I'm probably not going to remember this conversation in a couple hours. Tomorrow morning.
Low nod. Tomorrow morning. Sounds good to me. Steer clear of those guys.
Looks like
Don't
all
need to
of
tell
you
you that
should do
twice,
the
though.
same.
Pixie is going to take like a piece of paper or something and basically write the Lady Luck, a reminder for him.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. Lady Luck, meet in the morning or meet at X dock, whatever, and slide on the table.
You slide it onto the
Doc
table,
XY.
and he looks at it, nods, pulls it up, and then you see him kind of start to like poke the bird until the bird stands up and holds out a leg, and you can see that there's like a little message thing that is tied around this bird's leg. He just sticks it in there, and the bird immediately sits back down, and you don't see the paper anymore.
Just in case.
Just this kind of like tap of the nose of like, yeah, good idea.
Gets a smile of knowing, like, yeah, been seen this before. Been around this block, this particular block.
And he kind of looks across all of you with this little nod. Fair warning for all of you, at least until we can have a proper private discussion. Don't go asking questions. At least not unless you absolutely trust who you're asking. Rock has far too many ears for anybody's comfort.
Thanks for the
Booker nods
advice.
once.
And he will kind of lift a glass, like offer it towards Booker to like clink, essentially, and we'll work on downing the rest of the glass before it thunks against the table really heavily, and he motions to all of you. Oh, now, if we're going to do this properly, probably best not to be seen with each other. Not any more than we already have.
Booker nods once, and then we'll look to the group, and we'll say, "Well, then I guess this will be it for our conversation." And just do a quick look over the shoulder. Nobody's really watching them, right?
Roll me perception.
I also vote.
14.
Yeah, if you're like, if you think Trixie would see Booker looking around and would do so as well.
Yeah.
So, you both see Maya very clearly, kind of like glancing in y'all's direction every now and then. However, she is also very much distracted by fucking silverware flying over her head. As Micken is continuing to place things into this bin, and at this point probably moving some of the things from the bin into like a wash basin in the kitchen, has this conga line of fucking dishware floating through the air. That is something you would expect to see at the Happy Beholder, not something you would ever expect to see at the Rock Rat. And she very clearly does not seem to know what to do with this. Some combination of fascinated and thankful and also distinctly annoyed. You also see that there's like every now and then the table that's immediately beside you, people kind of glance in your direction, but it's very much more this, general talking and looking around the room and not watching you. Trixie, as you're kind of scanning the room and you're able to see a little bit further, you can see one of the half-orcs at the far table is kind of staring in your direction, but you're not 100% sure if it's staring as in watching, or if it's that, like, half-drunk, half-tired, I have picked a spot to look at, and it just so happens to have people.
Trixie will kind of like pat up your shoulder as if to kind of like, and tilt her head a little bit towards the table, but then turn to the Commodore and basically say, "Thanks for your time."
He just lifts the glass and like a thank you gesture towards Trixie, and settles back into his seat again.
I'll head over here.
Collect the nerds.
This place is so clean.
Yeah. Button has managed to
Things
make the
organized.
unoccupied tables and chairs probably cleaner than they have been in a very long time.
Everything is organized.
Has started the cleaning process of the dishes. The dishes that were already kind of clean and ready to be put on shelves are organized. It has fixed a couple of holes in the floor. It is still very kind of dingy and dark and mishmashed tavern. But at least you're pretty sure it's going to take my a few days of ADHD cleaning to get it back into the disorganization at this point, rather than just living in it.
But is
Booker,
making a mental note. Every 3 days, I must come back.
Booker will see that Button has cleaned up way too much of this place, and is like, just looks at Button and then looks at the place that's clean, and is just like, what? So,
Hello.
I really just don't fully understand why you feel the need to clean someone else's place.
I imagine this is as Button has just finished cleaning the last table, unoccupied table, and they're like pushing in the last chair, which is taller than them, into place. I cannot help it.
I mean, some
Just
people have their quirks. Yours is being gloomy.
I'm not gloomy.
It is very difficult to go against my programming.
Well, it's fine, I guess. Whatever floats your boat.
And Nicken just kind of tilts his head slightly. And he has set everything down. There's nothing else that is just levitating and floating through the air. And he kind of looks toward the Button with this kind of questioning look. It's like, if I might, were you, I don't know, built, for cleaning? Like, originally?
I was originally created and built to be a companion.
There is a pause. Nicken processing. So you were built to just fill space for somebody, essentially?
A companion and a caretaker.
That's where the cleaning comes in. Okay. Makes a little more sense.
Not. I cannot help but want to keep things organized and clean and take care of those around me.
doing a great job of it.
Some part of me wants to say that's sweet, but at the same time, if you were built for it, I don't know if it is.
Is that not similar to someone being born for something?
I mean, guess that depends on if you think somebody is actually born for something. That's a philosophical debate that I avoided by not going to wizard school.
Smart man. Doesn't sound like it would be a good time.
Wait, you didn't go to wizard school?
He shook his head.
Wait, so you're self-taught?
I was apprenticed to the local mage, but I did not go to any of the wizard colleges, no.
I'm sorry, Z, did you say the Moogle Mage?
The local mage.
Oh.
Fucking
I was like, Kufo? Kufo
This is-
confusedly.
Not Final Fantasy.
Well, that's why it threw me off guard. I was like, Kufo? Okay.
Oh yeah, I thought you went to a school.
But, I mean, I went to the academy like you.
That's like different. You're a really good wizard.
He just kind of blinks, and you see a blush and a very quick shake of the head. No.
Okay. They may not have seen it, but I saw what you did in that last fight. You were pretty awesome. She kind of puts an arm around him. Yeah,
And
you have a little more confidence in yourself.
very much like when he got stuck with the astral elf turtle as soon as the arm is around his shoulders.
Sorry. She puts all her hands up like, oops.
I just know a little bit of air magic, that's it.
I do not believe that is accurate.
See, but agrees.
Starts very quickly, like, hands up in the air, like side to side. Don't want to talk about this. Looks towards Booker. Did you guys get anything? Change topic.
Booker looks. He just raises an eyebrow and he's like, "Yeah, we got something." And then he'll look at Trixie and be like, "You're gonna short circuit the kid. Come on, let's go." And then he'll start walking out.
What? Just try to build his confidence. Come on. It's not that bad.
And as you all start heading out of the rock rat, the very last thing Booker hears at the front of the pack is Maya calling towards the door. You better fucking come back here, you bastard.
Booker will throw his two fingers salute up so that from the back she can see his hand. He will give her a fond farewell as he fucks off to go do something else.
Oh, Trixie will call to Maya. Oh, is he Celio again? Tell him I said hi.
And she just kind of, you get this like little wave of like, yeah, I'll do that. You don't know 100% sure if she is absolutely going to do that or if it's just to placate you and get you to move on.
Hey, she believes.
So, with that, we can either have you guys jump next session directly to the morning meeting, or is there something else one or multiple of you want to do between now and then?
I don't think there's anything on our list of shit to do. I think we're good to long rest and meet with Cruxy.
I think the only thing we have left is literally just leveling up Micken and then picking up our shit that's getting upgraded.
Wasn't leveling up Micken at the library?
No, that's at the
Mage's
Mage's
Guild.
Guild Hall.
Okay.
Essentially, how Brawl works, it's a little convoluted in some ways. If you want to level up tool stuff or language proficiencies, you can find some of that stuff at the Library of Spheres. If you're wanting to get spells and magical knowledge, that's going to be at the Mage's Guild Hall.
Okay. That makes understanding.
But yeah, that's part of the reason why I shared Micken's spell list a little bit ago. So if you guys want to spend the gold to level Micken up to do things, just know that you guys will still have to spend the gold on him since he is being leveled as an actual character.
Yeah.
And you guys will get to pick most of the spells that are not done at level up. At level ups, I'll just throw in what fits for Micken.
Mm-hmm.
But we will start off next session then on the Lady Luck with your meeting with Crux for him to fill in everything. And you guys can all take a long rest.
Yay! No more Dust Store.
Hmm.
Hell yeah, long resty.
Oh man.